Did you know some 1970s songs played on the radio had secret hidden meanings? Grown-ups missed them, but kids sensed something was weird. Today, we look at 10 cringe hits Gen X cannot stop singing. But which famous song was actually banned from some radio stations? Stay tuned to find out. If you are enjoying this trip back in time, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos. Now, let us get into the music. Afternoon Delight.
Afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right.
Is Afternoon Delight by the Starland Vocal Band. This track came out in 1976. It won a massive Grammy Award. The music sounds incredibly happy and light. It features amazing vocal harmonies. The acoustic guitars make you feel warm inside. However, the lyrics are actually about a secret romantic meeting. Most kids in the 1970s had absolutely no idea what the singers were talking about. They just loved the catchy chorus. Moms and dads would smile when it came on the car radio. Kids would sing along loudly in the back seat. It is a perfect example of a cringe song that you simply cannot resist. The band never had another big hit, but this one song cemented their place in pop culture history forever.
So excited, skyrockets in flight.
Escape, the Piña Colada song.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long.
Is Escape, widely known as the Piña Colada song, by Rupert Holmes. Released in 1979, this track tells a funny story about a man who is bored with his relationship. He reads the personal ads in the newspaper. He finds an ad from a woman who likes piña coladas and getting caught in the rain.
In bed. And in the personal columns.
He agrees to meet her at a bar. The hilarious twist ending is that the woman turns out to be his own partner. The song was the very last #1 hit of the 1970s decade in America. People love the catchy melody and the relatable feeling of wanting a little adventure. It is definitely cheesy, but the storytelling keeps listeners hooked from start to finish. It remains a staple at retro dance parties today.
If you're not into yoga, if you have a
Muskrat Love.
Muskrat, candlelight, doing.
Coming in at #3 is Muskrat Love by Captain and Tennille. This 1976 song is exactly what it sounds like. It is a track about two muskrats falling in love. The song features strange sound effects that mimic little animals chattering and splashing around in the water. It sounds completely silly to modern ears. Believe it or not, this song was actually written by the famous country musician Willie Nelson a few years earlier.
Sam, do the jitterbug at Muskrat Lake.
Captain and Tennille turned it into a huge pop hit. They even performed it live on a major television variety show with dancers wearing giant muskrat costumes. It is incredibly cringeworthy today, but back then, people found it cute and charming. Kids who grew up in the 70s remember this song playing at school dances. It is a weird piece of music history that makes you laugh every single time you hear it.
Singing and jinging a jangle. Float.
Seasons in the Sun.
We've known each other since we were 9 or 10.
Our fourth song takes a slightly darker turn. Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks hit #1 in 1974. The melody sounds very upbeat and cheerful. You might tap your foot to the rhythm without even thinking about it. But if you listen closely to the words, the song is actually about a person saying goodbye to the world before they pass away. It was originally a French song translated into English. Terry Jacks changed the lyrics to make it more friendly for the radio. Kids would joyfully sing along to a song about dying.
In the sky, now that the spring is in the air.
This sharp contrast between the happy music and the sad lyrics makes it totally cringe. It sold over 3 million copies in the United States alone. It became one of the biggest singles of the entire decade. Even today, when that chorus plays, Gen Xers cannot stop themselves from singing every single word at the top of their lungs.
You gave me love and helped me find the sun.
Feelings.
Nothing more than feeling.
Next is the song simply titled Feelings by Morris Albert, released in 1975. This is the ultimate slow dance song that went way over the top. Morris Albert sang with so much intense emotion that it became funny. He belts out the word feelings over and over again. The heavy use of violins and soft drums makes it sound super dramatic. People loved it at first, and it reached the top 5 on the music charts. Very quickly, however, it became the ultimate punchline.
Teardrop.
Comedians started making fun of the overly emotional delivery. Radio DJs made jokes about it on the air. Despite all the teasing, the melody is completely stuck in your brain forever. If someone simply says the word feelings out loud, there is a very high chance a person over 50 will immediately start humming the tune. It is incredibly cheesy, yet totally unforgettable. Billy, Don't Be a Hero. Moving on to number 6, we have Billy, Don't Be a Hero by Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods. This 1974 track is a dramatic story song. It tells the tale of a young man named Billy who wants to go off to fight in a war. His fiancée begs him not to be a hero and to come back safely to her. Sadly, Billy does not listen. He charges into battle and does not survive. The song was hugely popular, especially with parents and older folks. But for kids and teenagers, the heavy subject matter felt a bit out of place on the pop radio stations. The marching band drum beat makes it sound almost like a happy parade tune. This weird mix of a tragic story with upbeat music is what puts it firmly in the cringe category. Still, the chorus is so massive that you absolutely have to shout along with it when it comes on. You're Having My Baby is a song that makes many people shake their heads today. You're Having My Baby by Paul Anka came out in 1974. It is a very direct conversation between a man and a woman who just found out they are going to have a child. The lyrics are extremely blunt for a mainstream pop song. Paul Anka sounds incredibly dramatic as he sings about the wonderful news. Many critics at the time thought the song was awkward and strange. Some radio stations actually refused to play it because they thought it was too much for younger listeners to hear. However, the public ate it up. It sailed all the way to the #1 spot on the charts. Today, the overly serious tone feels completely hilarious. It is the kind of song that makes you burst out laughing, yet you still know all the words because it was played everywhere. You Light Up My Life. Song number 8 is You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone. Released in 1977, this massive hit stayed at the #1 position for 10 straight weeks. That is a very impressive record. The song was originally written for a movie, but Debbie Boone's version became a monster smash hit. It is a very sweet, gentle ballad with a beautiful melody. The orchestral instruments swell up and make the song feel very grand. The reason it is considered cringe today is because it is simply too perfect and too sweet.
In the dark, but now you.
It feels a little bit like a greeting card come to life. It played constantly on the radio, in grocery stores, and in elevators. People got completely tired of hearing it. But here is the funny thing about earworms. Even if you think a song is too sappy, if you hear the first 3 notes, your brain automatically finishes the entire chorus for you.
Drift on the water.
Disco Duck. Coming in at number 9 is Disco Duck by Rick Dees and his cast of idiots. By 1976, the disco craze was taking over the entire world. This novelty song was a funny parody of that massive dance trend. Rick Dees does a silly voice acting like a duck who loves to go to the disco. It has a great dance beat, funny quacking sounds, and a really catchy chorus. It climbed all the way to number 1 on the charts.
All of a sudden I began to change.
The funny fact is that the actual disco community absolutely hated this song. They felt it made their cool new music style look like a big joke. Radio stations were completely split. Some stations played it every hour, while strict disco stations refused to let it anywhere near their turntables. Kids loved it because it was goofy and fun. It is pure, harmless, cringe-worthy comedy that still gets people dancing at 70s theme parties. Sometimes, when we touch
You ask me if I love you, and I choke on.
our final song is Sometimes When We Touch by Dan Hill from 1977. This is the granddaddy of all emotional power ballads. Dan Hill sings about being so afraid of losing love that he can barely even hold his partner's hand. The music starts out very quiet with a soft piano. Then, it slowly builds up to a massive, dramatic ending where he practically wails the lyrics. It is the definition of over-the-top 70s romance. When you are a kid, you do not really understand why a grown man is crying on the radio. But as you grow older, the dramatic emotions almost become funny. It is incredibly corny,
The honesty's too much.
but Dan Hill sings it with total seriousness. That is exactly why it works so well. It sold millions of copies around the world. It remains one of the most requested songs on Oldies radio stations today. You might roll your eyes, but you will definitely sing it. Remember that question about the band song from the intro? It was Paul Anka's track. Thanks for watching this fun look back at music history. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more awesome content.